What's going on, everybody? And that beautiful sun on the Mountain Motorsports sign in Roswell, and that is a 2017 Yamaha FZ-09, the brand new one with the cool eyes. If you guys haven't seen the first FZ-09 video, it was one of my more popular first rides that I did early on. It was a giant giggle fit, and I'm pretty sure this bike's going to be the exact same. Let's get this thing going. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so here we have the 2017 FZ-09. I am very excited for this bike. I'm very excited for 2017 because this is the first in many of the new bikes that we got to refresh on. Alright, so sitting on it, I'm low to the ground. Look how bent my legs are. I'm 5'10". The bike is not very tall. Handlebars can move way more than I expected. Oh, it's got one of these little fancy turn-on things. This bike now has ABS. This bike now has traction control. I like how low I am to the ground. That is a feature I'm a fan of. My back is super upright. Wow. Oh, I'm in B mode. Okay. I was about to say that engine ain't revving up very much. The seat's really flat. It's oddly flat. I feel like I sit on it fine. It's not uncomfortable, but it surprises me. Whoa, there's the revs. Hello, how are you doing? Oh, God, I'm gonna have to get used to this seat. I'm used to like a curved seat, like slightly curved. This was just flat. So my back's super upright right now. There's no bend over at all. If I want to, I can. The handlebars are wide enough for that to feel good. Are you turning here? Oh, man, B is... Oh, there's the FZ-09, I remember. Oh, where's the turn signal? God, that turn signal is a terrible spot. God, that throttle is sketch, and I'm in B mode? Oh, goodness. How the hell is this B mode, man? Oh, God, I'm terrified for A mode. So, the bike has 3 modes. It's got A, standard, and B. We're currently in B mode, which is the slower mode, and still... It is still, I can tell A mode's going to be insane. Oh my goodness! What? That is rain mode, ladies and gentlemen. That is rain mode. Oh my goodness. The grips are a little slippery. I can actually like move my hand around. Oh wow, I did not expect that. Wow, that mirror is a terrible position. Mirrors are actually not bad. They're not bad at all. Am I revving this bike up too high or something? Oh, this bike would have wheelied if it wasn't for traction control. Oh, goodness. I'm really not liking where the turn signals are, but that is not affecting how I feel about the flickability of this bike. Oh, my goodness. Oh wow, okay. B mode is no joke. Although I will say, B mode has this really weird lag in throttle response. Like, B mode has a ton more throttle than I would have ever thought B mode should have, but there's a very weird delay on the throttle. Okay, so changing modes, I'm assuming that's a mode button, so I just, thank you Yamaha. I want to change modes, I hit mode, and that's all I have to do. My question is, oh, traction control, is that literally a button too? And I have to hold it to go off? Okay, wow, good job Yamaha, that's awesome. Traction control, a button. Oh my god. Yamaha, what are y'all doing with this FZ-09? It has so much power. Why? It doesn't need this much power. A bike can be so much more fun and it doesn't need to have tons of power. The brakes aren't bad, nothing to be crazy about. You know the main difference in the FZ-10 and the FZ-09? The FZ-09 doesn't give a shit. And the FZ-10 gives it to you in a smart manner. Like, ooh, clip that curb, Mr. Busman. Well, while we're stuck behind this giant bus, let's check out the screen. It looks like similar to the old screen. We've got quick shifter. This bike is the American model. It does not have the quick shifter on it, but it is very easily, supposedly, able to be given a quick shifter. It's got traction control on there. All the little buttons you typically need. Let's put traction control in 1. That way we can maybe wheelie a little bit. I don't want to wheelie a lot. So I feel like the first FZ-09 was Yamaha just testing the market. They just wanted to be like, do people like this engine? Will people buy it? And then it hit the market and went absolutely insane. So I feel like this is the FZ-09 that Yamaha always wanted to put out. They just didn't want to put all their eggs in a basket and make this bike to start with. They have updated all the suspension. They've got a new shock in it. They've got new front forks. And they've built all that around the same chassis and engine that the other one has, which is a good idea because the other one, engine-wise, was phenomenal. Like, I saw that portion, I was like, should I put traction control in 2 and the mode in A and just see what happens? You know, with the KTM Super Duke, I could manage that power. The bike, I should say, the bike rather manages the power really well. The FZ-09 just doesn't care. It's like, here's all your power, just go on, go do something. So I really like how tall the bike is. I, being a 5'10" guy, I'm not crazy tall, and I can flat foot the bike no problem. And that gives me like a safety feature. Like, I feel, just in case I come to a stoplight abruptly or the bike tips over a little bit, I've got some leverage. Uh-oh, off the line. Oh god. Woo! God almighty. In standard mode, you know, just casual throttle. Front wheel comes up. What in the hell, man? That's what I'm talking about. Second gear, standard mode, relatively throttle. Oh wow. So when you're riding the FZ-09, I'm in standard mode and there is an abruptness. Hey, God, I cannot stand where the turn signals are. There is a real abruptness to this bike. The gas is either, you know what, let's have a lot of fun. The gas is either on or it's off. It's hard to control how much or how little because there's that little jump in the get-go. All right, I'm not first gear, no thank you. Relative throttle. Oh my god, the front wheel is just like feather light, if the front wheel isn't off the ground. The handlebars are just flicking back and forth. Insane. And that's standard. It blows my mind how much power they give you in B mode, let alone standard. I'll get on the highway in A mode, but like, I'm just probably gonna do a backflip and that's gonna be it. For an overall riding experience, that little like nothing everything with the throttle, it doesn't make for a good riding experience like long term, but I'll be damned if it's not fun as hell to ride around. Whew. Okay, remember there is traction control on 1, so it's there. Does A mode still give you, yeah, watch it jump. There's just a little tiny, just just pause in the throttle before it engages, and I feel like I can't have full control over the bike if I'm not 100% where that throttle position is. Is that car turning an extra lane or what the hell? Like, look, I give it a little bit of throttle and I just get thrown back, and I don't know if it's in the best way possible. I just don't feel like I'm not in control of a bike. Alright, so this is where we get to test how the wind is. God, I'm going 60 in third and I'm still getting yanked? My goodness, man. I gotta be honest, the wind could be worse. It's not like Super Duke level bad, which is a really good thing because that Super Duke was terrible. Oh my god, so much power, even in third on the highway. Oh my goodness, wind is not fun, but the bike is. If I go off the throttle, the bike's gonna fall back, like engine braking. If I give the throttle, the bike is gonna yank me forward. That's ridiculous for a naked bike on the highway. I don't know what B mode feels like on the highway, because I feel like that's where you want some smoothness. Alright, we're in B mode now. Let's see what this feels like. Oh yeah. That calms it down a little bit on the get-go, but it's still crazy powerful. The amount of power that this thing has is just insane, y'all. And I have to tell you, we're in B mode. B mode, what it does is it makes a gradual power increase up to full power. Or at least that's what it feels like. Honestly, the wind's not too bad. I'm getting a lot of wind on my chest. I'm getting a lot of wind on my head, but I don't know. It feels like I can deal with it. So it might be the body position that I'm sitting at. You shouldn't get this thinking you're going to have like no wind, you know, and you can tour on it. I know these things come with screens. The FZ-09, one of the good things about the FZ-09 is such a popular bike that that the more popular a bike is, the better chance you have at mods getting made for the bike. We're gonna just do this. God, the bike just skipped over the bumps because I'm accelerating. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of A mode, honestly. I just think it's a little too much. I don't want, I like being in control of a bike, but I like a bike scaring me a little bit. A mode just puts the scare level a little too high. I do like the traction control at 1 though. I feel like at 2, traction control jumps in and messes with you a little too early. It might be because I've got new gloves and I've got new grips. I'm on a brand new bike, obviously it's got 14 miles. But there's not a lot of grip. My hands are sliding a little bit, which is doesn't give you confidence while riding. Alright, we're in standard mode. No, we're in B mode. God, are you in B mode? Wait, can we change the mode? Okay, standard mode. So much power. God, Yamaha, I don't understand what your thinking behind this bike was. Like, why do you think somebody needs so much power in standard mode? And even B mode, like making it slower to get to the power? Like, why? It makes it hard to control to a certain degree. Now, granted, A mode's fine. You make A mode just stupid mode. But I feel like B mode should be toned down a little bit. There should be a reason for the modes. I feel like B mode's kind of pointless. Throwing the bike back and forth, it is very light. Extremely light. It does not take a lot of input to get this bike going back and forth. And it was fine on the highway. You know, you worry with a light bike like that, you worry that you get on the highway and you're going to be blown around by the wind. I didn't really feel that. But going back and forth, it's very quick to go back and forth. Very maneuverable. I am really happy to see that Yamaha saw a really popular bike. Like, when the FZ-09 came out, there wasn't a ton of bikes in that category that matched the FZ-09. And I think when Yamaha saw it take off, they're like, all right, we need to listen to people. We need to upgrade the bike in the way everybody's wanting us to update it. Oh, see? I'm using a horn when I shouldn't be. Oh my god, you just warped through space and time. Instantly. Other than, if you're already on the throttle and you've already got that nothingness period pulled through, just instant torque, the second you want it. I would be interested to take a bike like this up to the mountains because it is really flicky. It has a crazy amount of torque, and now that it has traction control, I don't have to worry too much about that torque because, man, that first FZ-09, it was everything this bike had, but nothing helping you. It was just like, hey, good luck, man. Like, I hope you don't die. There's a certain feeling that bikes that have torque like this bike does. It gives you that, like, it's almost like you feel like you're going in slow motion because it's pulling you so fast. I am never going to stop telling you guys, torque is fun, horsepower is top speed. I will stand behind that every single day until everybody agrees with me. And if you like going really fast, that's fine, but I promise you, going fast gets old. Torque will throw, that's what makes you feel like, oh my gosh, stuff's happening. And I'm not saying bikes that have high horsepower don't have high torque. I'm just saying a bike like this with a lot of torque, to me, will be way more fun than a bike with a ton of horsepower. Because horsepower gets you somewhere going quick, but it don't throw you back. You know, I want to have to hold on to the handlebars real tight because I don't want to fly off the bike. A bike like that, that's fun. Bunny hopping. See, that's one thing that kind of scares me about wanting this bike in the mountains is you put that thing in standard mode, you come out of a slow turn and gun it, and you're not ready for it, the bike wheel's going to come up and you're going to lose the ability to change direction. And that's going to cause you to wreck. If I went to the mountains, I would most likely put this bike in B mode just to avoid wheeling. Oh my god. I should have put a GoPro on the front wheel. I should have known with an FZ-09, I should have put the GoPro on the front wheel because it's going to be hard to keep up. Or keep down. Yeah, keep down. The bike just has such a usable torque area. You know what's fun? Riding bikes that make you want to ride stupid. Like, for no reason. Makes you want to throttle up. Those are really fun bikes to ride. Why? Because it makes you do stupid stuff and you have fun doing stupid stuff. You just have to try to be in control of all the stupid stuff. Another crazy thing about this bike that kind of blows my mind, and I think is one of the reasons this bike took off when it first came out, is the price point. This bike, to have traction control, different rider modes, ABS, like, you should be talking about a 10,000 plus bike. This bike is like what, like 8,000, 9,000? It's an under $10,000 motorcycle, from what I understand. Even if it is a $10,000 motorcycle, that is a lot to get in a package that cheap. I really honestly don't know how Yamaha does that, but whatever they're doing, us riders are lucking out a lot. Something I'm appreciating now as a rider that has or soon-to-be wife, I like bikes that I can actually, my fiance doesn't have to like have a 1" by 1" square shoved up her butt. You know, like having a decently sized rear seat, it's something that I appreciate as a rider. I'm like, good, now if my lady wants to ride with me, that's actually possible. So that's good. Another thing about that is this bike is a really torquey bike, so it's a bike that has the potential to ride two people on it. You know what I mean? Like if it was a 250, you put a little square seat on the back. I don't really care because I'm not going to really ride a 250 with my lady on the back. But a cool bike like this, like I'm going to want to go around and do stuff with her on it, you know? Engine braking is a bit strong in standard at least. God. Alright, man, let's get this bike in here and check it out. Alright guys, so the 2017 FZ-09, look at the front. You know, I was looking at the front when I was doing the cinematic shots. This bike, I'm going to put a shot of a older R1 headlight. I think that's kind of where they got this look from. It has the same like angles with the circular lights inside of it. I love the front. I think the front looks fantastic. So in the European models, they get like highlighter colored rims. Here in America, I guess we just get the black. Look what they did with the tail. So does this look beautiful? No. Does this look way better than any other bike that has like a tail thing? Yes, absolutely. I think this looks fantastic. I want to cut in what I said about the FZ-09 back in the day when I test rode it, when I did a first ride. The only thing I hate about this bike is this freaking light. I'm going to show you guys a picture in FZ-07. And FZ-07 has this cool little angular tail. The FZ-09 does not, and it annoys me. I guarantee you I said something about how ugly the tail light is. That tail light, so much better. So much better. Obviously, let's just pretend these don't exist. You know what would be cool on this bike is just take those things off, but get some type of turn signals that go inside of here. Wait, it don't have that, does it? Because if this bike does that, I'm going to be like, oh my god, they know me. Where's the turn signal? Oh, see, there could be a turn signal right here. Oh, that would have been such a good idea. Okay, anyway. So yeah, the front looks great. I feel like the bike is now caught up to looking like it should, except for this. I want this to be updated. I want like a screen. I want a colored screen on there. Granted, for the price, you know, how much can you want, you know, for the price of this bike? But I would like to see something like that. You know, if you had this line kind of continue upwards a little bit, then the screen would just drop down from it. Oh, it could be so cool. But anyways, guys, this is the FZ-09. We're going to take a listen to it. If you guys have never checked out my first ride blog post, I always put high diff photos, but I said that correctly, and I put a nice sound clip so you can actually hear what the bike sounds like. I get my microphone and do it up. This bike actually doesn't sound that loud though, but regardless, if you want to check that stuff out, Chaseontwowheels.com. There's a link in the description if you want to check it out. But let's take a listen to this bike. We're in neutral and 2017 FZ-09. See how quiet it is? All right, now listen to the video and watch the throttle. It revs up once it gets into the band, but look at all that play. That's doing nothing. That's what I was talking about earlier. It's actually a pretty quiet bike, to be honest. Which is probably pretty good because this is a typical hooligan bike. So people that ride it tend to do stupid stuff. So it probably helps you out. I want to know if there's a traction control off option. Is there? Doesn't look like it. Just looks like 1 and 2. Whatever. You know, they give you traction control, so you got to be appreciative of that. This bike would be so much better in low speed stuff if it didn't have that little throttle play. That's the only thing that's really getting to me. The brakes aren't anything to really like speak crazy highly of, but they're not bad. You know what? I can't hate on Yamaha. They did a fantastic job putting the FZ-09 out in the market. We should just be appreciative that the market wanted such a better version that they came back and was like, here you go. We know you guys love this bike. Here's what all of you wanted it to be. Here's traction control, ABS, rider modes. Here's everything. I still can't believe it's the price it is. It blows me away. To sum up this beautiful machine, what do I think? I think bang for buck, this might be the best bike you can buy in 2017. That doesn't mean it's the best bike. It means for the price and what you get for the price, this might be the best bike you can possibly buy. It is going to be a hard-fought battle to find a bike that is, engine-wise, is this impeccable with rider modes, with traction control, with ABS, with an engine that is that good. I see this bike being a fantastic bike for track days because it's got the engine, especially those tinier tracks. You're going to have a great time. It is so flickable, and with that engine, you've got plenty to play around with in the mountains. The suspension, I guess, is better. It feels at least softer. I haven't felt any bumps and all that kind of stuff, so props to that. To get a real test of a suspension, you got to ride it pretty hard. I don't feel like I get an accurate representation of the suspension while I do my first rides, but from what I've read, they've done a lot of updating to it, and got it to really where it needs to be. I know there are going to be screens for it so you can get some more wind blockage, so it's going to be good for touring because God knows it has the power. If you are going to be touring, I almost guarantee you're going to be riding around in B mode because it smooths everything out so much more, and it makes it to where you, like, it feels like you want a bike on the highway. It's just chill, you know, it can go where it needs to go, and it just takes a little time to get there. And when you want to do stupid stuff, you just pop it in A mode and you just rip it down the highway. I mean, you saw earlier, I was at 120, 130, and the bike was just pulling me along like I was going like 50 or something. It was absolutely insane. But yeah, guys, that's about all I've got for the 2017 FZ-09. Let's all pretend that this is the first real FZ-09. Let's pretend that the first one was kind of Yamaha just playing, testing the waters, and then they really made it on this one. If you guys are looking for a bike right now, I am highly suggesting you check this bike out. It ticks a lot of boxes. But anyways, guys, before I get out of here, I want to say thanks to my buddies over at Mountain Motorsports. They are the dealership that actually let me take out all of these brand new freaking motorcycles, ride them around, and tell you guys what I think about them so y'all can make better purchasing decisions or just know what bikes to go check out. Big shout out to them for letting me do this series. And yeah, that's about all I've got. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button to see more videos like this. I'm Chaseontwowheels. This has been a Chaseontwowheels first ride, and I am going to regretfully drive back to the dealership and take this bike back. This is one of them bikes, man. It looks good, it rides good. I don't like the throttle in the very beginning, but once you get past that beginning, it's not as bad. But this has got something, man. This has got something. This is going to get really popular. I'll go ahead and call it right now. For one, the next thing Yamaha needs to do is put a better dash on here. And they need a colored shock. Yamaha, if you listen to my videos at all, for one, let me know. Two, I want to see a colored shock. I don't want this black shock stuff. I know the first FZ-09, you didn't want to really show the shock off because probably it was a cheaper piece of the bike. But you got some good stuff in this thing now. Let's show it off. Let's see a colored stock. Alright, so the next thing we need to see is a colored high definition dash and a colored shock. I'm Chaseontwowheels. I will see you guys on the next video. Later.